Why is it that this book makes such a big deal about there being two heat waves? I mean, most of the rogues have had two versions of themselves. Granted, one of them is usually dead while the other's running around, but you get my point. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Tales to Showcase, where for some unknown reason we choose to believe that you are guilty until proven innocent. I'm your host, the Watcher of New Earth. Well everyone, today's our 10th video, and to celebrate this little milestone, what big, huge comic are we going to review today? A throwaway Flash story! It's all I could come up with on short notice. Published in 1982, The Flash number 312 was written by Cary Bates, who is best known for his works with this title, The Legion of Superheroes, Action Comics, and even the big guy himself, Superman. Like last week's issue, the art is done by Carmine Infantino, who created Barry Allen, who's a comic legend, who must be worshipped, etc., etc. Certainly, with this kind of creative team, we're in for a treat, right? Well, let's find out. This is The Flash number 312. The comic opens with preview panels to let us know what to expect. In one panel, Heatwave is trying to be friendly and kind towards the Flash, but in the next panel he is returned to being his villainous evil self. Hey, look! It's the tone of the Suicide Squad movie. Once upon a time he was a fledgling fire eater working sideshows, but that was before Mick Rory became the Heatwave, one of the most accomplished villains to ever plague Central City. Accomplished? Maybe at getting his butt kicked by the Flash every other week. Our story begins with Barry Allen calling his parents and his mom asking what the occasion was. Yeah, this was before it was retconned that Nora Allen had been killed by Eobard Thawne. This is the Earth 1 continuity, so Nora's living her full life and only dies shortly after Barry dies in Crisis on Infinite Earths. Spoilers, by the way. Barry apologizes for not calling in a while, but Nora, having recently learned that he was the Flash, reassures him that his superhero duties come first. They're discussing his secret identity over the phone? Well, great, now the NSA has it. Suddenly, Barry's in his parents' house, only having called to make sure they were home before he ran over. Couldn't he just have run over to check if they were home? His parents are of course happy to see him, but Nora frets over him and says that he's undernourished.
Tell you what, Mom, you can feed me supper and breakfast if you let me sleep over.
Wow. Barry's a bum. The next morning, we join Mick Rory, aka the supervillain Heatwave, at his parole officer's office. Apparently, Mick is attempting to get a job, however, it's at a glassworks factory, and the parole officer is concerned about how close he'll be to fire and heat, his previous modus operandi. Yes, because I'm sure that if you work in an air-conditioned office, that'd take away his edge. The parole officer, named Mr. Hobart, decides to let him keep the job as long as he stays out of trouble. A ways away, Barry is running back to Central City when something catches his eye.
That's ominous. A long plume of smoke rising from Route 102?
That is weird. Route 102 doesn't have any fire types. Barry naturally goes to investigate. It appears that what caused the smoke was a drone, which is currently burning through an armored truck and stealing $450,000. The guards are helpless to stop it, so instead they narrate the heist for the reader. How sweet. Then one guard spots the Flash running towards the drone, but before Barry reaches it, he is engulfed in a fiery burst. The drone then leaves and a guard looks at a crater and comes to an awful realization. We're looking at all that's left of the Flash! A smoldering crater of disappointment and broken dreams. Actually, that sounds a lot more like what's left of Arrow. The drone speeds away but comes across a charter bus.
Hey Mickey! Hey Mickey! What's that?
Wow, I don't know, but whatever it is, I want one. A guy named Mickey wanting a machine that breathes fire and seals money? Is this an allegory for the Walt Disney Company? Just as it seems like the drone is going to collide with the bus, it's revealed that Barry had been vibrating his molecules to allow him to run underground. He originally planned to follow the drone back to its owner, but decides to save everyone on the bus instead. So, Barry Allen got his plan from the movie Tremors? Sure, why not? I've seen him do stupider things. The Flash is able to save the bus and decides to destroy the drone rather than risk any more civilians. He already has his suspicions, however, and goes over to Mick Rory's new job to harass Rory about the robbery. Because, for whatever reason, this book decided to change Barry Allen from the nice, everyday superhero to the bad cop who thinks you're guilty until proven innocent. Rory tries to convince the Flash that he's changed his ways, but Barry doesn't budge. Later that day, Rory speaks with Hobart. Hobart says that he trusts Rory, but tells him to be careful either way. However, after he leaves, it turns out that Barry had been secretly allowed to listen in on the conversation.
Is that allowed? It doesn't seem like that should be allowed.
Barry remains unconvinced and leaves Hobart's office. Meanwhile, Hobart stares at a glowing green rock as he waits for his next visitor, a guy named Wiley, to arrive. Barry goes to meet Fiona Webb, his current girlfriend, but gets distracted at a newsstand. One of the covers features Daphne Dean, an old flame of Barry's who recently returned into his life. The man at the newsstand notices Barry staring at the cover and tells him to pick up his own copy fast. That Dean dame's face sells magazines better than Brooke Shields.
Okay, hold it right there. I will believe a man can run faster than time. I will believe this man can burrow underground to follow a drone that's stealing money. I'll even believe that this man is fighting another man in an asbestos suit who also is shooting fire. But I refuse to believe that anybody could outsell Brooke Shields in the 1980s. I mean, have you seen that woman? Gorgeous.
While Barry is standing there, he contemplates whether or not he has feelings for Daphne, and begins to realize that he actually does.
So, between Daphne and Zatanna from last time, that's two girls that aren't his girlfriend that Barry wants to nail. You know, I get the feeling that if he knew what his CW counterpart was dealing with, he'd be a lot more grateful.
Barry finally remembers that he came to the state capitol building to ask his girlfriend out to lunch. However, he sees Fiona and her boss, Creed Phillips, leave together. And is it me, or are they seriously overdressed for work? I mean, do people usually wear tuxes and elegant fur coats to work? I don't know. But what I do know is that Barry is left feeling quite the fool.
So, Barry fantasizes and openly flirts with other women, while Fiona accepts dinner invitations from her boss. Methinks this is not a very stable relationship.
Anyway, getting back to the plot, it seems that someone is preparing to go out on a crime spree as Heatwave. However, rather than showing us the spree, or how and why the Flash didn't stop it, we skip ahead to the next morning. In a hotel room, Mick waits for Wiley, Hobart's other ex-con. When Wiley enters, Mick confronts him, believing that Wiley was pretending to be Mick to perform crimes, as everything that was stolen was found in Wiley's closet. Wiley initially denies this, but Mick won't hear it and promptly turns him in. However, at the police station, Barry is forced to hide because Heatwave had unmasked him before, and Barry isn't really feeling having his secret identity outed by a supervillain.
Why? If he figures out who you are, you'll just reset the timeline. It's kinda your thing now.
Barry begins to vibrate his molecules to the point that he's invisible.
Look at me, I'm the Flash! Ow! Ow! Okay, that's enough.
Also, pretty sure this lady just saw Barry Allen vibrate into a wall. Later that day, we go back to Hobart's office. It turns out that Hobart was the real villain in all of this, as he's been using the green rock that's been on his desk to hypnotize Mick and Wiley. Hobart confesses to having used Wiley, but since Mick turned him in, Hobart must now take matters into his own hands. He tells Mick to wait at Hobart's apartment while Hobart goes to steal more loot.
Why wouldn't you just send Mick? Why would you endanger yourself? Why admit to the hypnotism while you're hypnotizing the guy? All these questions and more will be ignored by this story.
And with that, Hobart switches off the rock and bids Mick farewell. Later that night, Barry listens to a police scanner and springs into action when he hears about a break-in at the Centrex Diamond Exchange.
Where was this radio when Wiley was Heatwave?
Barry rushes over and soon has Hobart, and... Wait, that's Hobart? I don't mean to body shame, but... there's no way he lost 20 pounds to fit in Mick's suit. Anyway, disregarding the miracle weight loss, when Barry grabs Hobart, he begins to feel a burning sensation all over his body. It turns out that Mick had placed a defense mechanism in the suit that burns a person molecule by molecule. Barry is soon writhing on the floor, but not one to give up easily, suddenly rockets up into the sky.
Guess that's why they call him the Crimson Comet. Oh, shut up. You thought it was funny.
Hobart is naturally taken aback, but before he can even recover, Mick shows up in his Heatwave uniform to settle the score. Meanwhile, Barry's able to control the burning molecules, which is what's setting off the explosion and causing him to rocket across the sky.
Sailing around propelled by fireworks? We now interrupt this Flash comic to bring you a Tom and Jerry cartoon.
The two heat waves are fighting vigorously. Barry sees that they've shot blasts that will fry them both, so he propels himself in between the two blasts.
Of course, if it's strong enough to cremate two grown men, then it'll obviously have no effect on anyone if Barry can propel himself right into the middle of it. Wait, I think we missed a step here.
Of course, Barry's able to save them both. Somehow. And he is surprised to see that the real villain was Hobart. Mick explains that he had grown suspicious of Hobart and decided to record their last session. Upon learning about the hypnosis, the spell was broken.
Pretty sure hypnosis doesn't work that way.
And the comic ends with the two men walking off, presumably leaving Hobart to die on the ground, as Mick swears that his life of crime is over.
And this was true. Mick Rory had indeed seen the light and changed his ways for the better. That is, of course, until it was retconned that this was not by his own doing, but rather mind manipulation by the Top, another C-list Flash villain. DC Comics. If it made sense the first time, we'll reboot and it'll be worse. Anyway, that was the Flash number 312 and... yeah, it wasn't very good.
This isn't a horrible book, but it does have its fair share of problems. The story is pretty weak, causing it to go off in scenes that don't matter just to reach the 17-page goal. It has a lot of plot holes that don't necessarily ruin the story, but kinda take you out of it every now and again. Also, Barry's characterization throughout most of the book seems very unlike him. But there are bright sides. It keeps that lighthearted feel that doesn't seem to be in most modern-day comics, and the art, for the most part, is pretty darn good.
Yeah, I can't really say I recommend this book, but I would pick up some other story from this run. Anyway, as always, thank you for joining me and I'll see you next time. This is the Watcher of New Earth, signing off. So,
Hey. Haven't seen you in a while.
just working on stuff.
Yeah, I know why we haven't been talking, but kind of wanted that to change, you know?
I'm sorry, I really am. I want to hang out with you, but, between this and the videos, I don't have time.
I get that you're busy doing... What are you doing exactly?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna tell you what I'm working on. No.
Yeah, big secret. Okay. Anyway, I just want to see if you wanted to, I don't know, hang out? I mean, you're me from another universe. Just kind of makes sense that we're friends, you know?
Look, well, I don't know. I've got a lot on my plate. I got this, and I've got the videos and everything. It's a lot, okay?
Well, what if I helped you out? Maybe if you told me what you were working on, I could...
Look, just stay back, all right? Okay? Okay? Just stay over there. I'm over here. You stay over there, okay? Okay? Just okay. Okay.
Okay, how's the videos going?
Hey. How's this? I'll let you help with the videos, okay? Editing, maybe some writing. I mean, I have been falling back on a few videos, I'll admit. But just, okay, stick with the videos. Help me with the videos, then I'll have more free time. Then we can hang out, okay? That seems fair, don't you think? Okay?
Really? Okay,
Yeah, sounds good. I'll get to work on that right now. Okay, I'll see you when I see you. All right.